Wow. First off, I really can't express how getting to this point really feels. All my life, I've been enamored with the martial arts. Whether it was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers, it's always been something that always seemed really, really cool, but not nearly as meaningful as I imagined it would be until I got here, until I got to this point. Growing up, I was, and still kind of am, a scrawny little dweeby kid, and I didn't exactly put myself in the best situation against people that would like to target people like me. I was a target for bullying a lot for pretty much most of my elementary school life. It was tough growing up because of it, It wasn't just talking, it wasn't just making fun. A lot of it ended up with jumping on me after school or just, pranks or actual fights, and it's not cool. It really demoralizes you and really holds you down and it really eats you up inside. It really, really killed me as a kid growing up feeling like this. And I would try fighting back. I would try using whatever I've seen on the movies or on TV just to try and really to stand a chance. And it wasn't what I expected at the time. And then I started to get angry and I became a very, very angry child growing up until around 7th or 8th grade. I was starting to start my own fights, thinking I would maybe put a name out for myself. Maybe I could actually, get people too scared to go up against me. It didn't really help. I just got myself into deeper trouble. My parents know that I ended up getting suspended just a few too many times for their own health, and it drove them a little crazy. So, my father started me on looking for a place to go. Started me out in martial arts. And at that moment, for the first time ever, I was actually good at something in my life. I wasn't good at any sports really. I did some dance that is a part of my culture, and that was good because it gave me the groundwork for the grace and the control and agility and flexibility you guys all know me for. And I'm very proud of what it taught me. My people have always tried to teach me something about my culture. Being this occasion, I learned that the one thing we learned is something called Vilikaza, and it means respect. Now, respect can go many ways. It goes towards the people you know, most importantly your elders, but most importantly it goes towards yourself. You have self-respect. And that's something I felt like I lacked for the longest time. My confidence was shot because of it, and I would look down, I would try to get by, and it wouldn't really help. And then I started on my path towards understanding martial arts. I ate it up so well. It just absorbed it because it was the first thing I was ever really good at that I really enjoyed. And I just flew away. I ran away with it. I did Taekwondo, Tai Chi Kwan, anything that I can get my hands on that was interesting. And the philosophy behind it drove me too. It was later that I realized that after I started training in martial arts, I stopped getting picked on. And then in high school, I started to get a little bit more relaxed, and I didn't know why. I didn't understand why now that I started training that people stopped picking on me. They didn't know I trained in martial arts. It was more of a secret. And then I was in high school, became really good friends. Leanne, one of my best friends in the world. And she and I worked together sometimes on our training. We'd spar every now and then. It was a fun time, and I loved doing it. And then one of the things I love doing is going to other schools, just to learn more about other styles. And she asked if I wanted to go, and I really wanted to go. And Sensei was kind enough to offer me to come in for a sparring night. And I got my ass kicked pretty bad.
But I have to make sure you get your ass kicked.
Well, that's what happened. Whenever I visited other schools and asked them to know how it was like, I wanted to go to the sparring nights. They all did it with great respect and great admiration for the courage it came to come to another school, but they did bring their A game every time. But nowhere else did I really find that A game as much as I did here. When I was pitted up against, belts of all ranges, I saw the discipline in everyone's eyes, the commitment in everyone's hearts to try their very best just to achieve whatever it is that Sensei was divulging to them. And it wasn't just a skill. Sensei, as you know, it just pours out of them that talent and that skill, and you see it. But that's not the reason why each of us come here. It's not because he's the best fighter, no matter how many times you watch that video of him just hauling that fist to those low kicks. But it's how he teaches. And the way he taught, with that respect that Adiga Cabs I've been taught, that I try to look for in others and try to look for in myself. That way that he carries himself and gets down to everyone's level to understand where they're at and understand what's important. Not winning, not getting those trophies, not getting anything, any kind of recognition, not even the belts. They're not nearly as much as meaningful as what comes with it. He grants those only as an understanding, a recognition of what you've already shown. And for that, I was hooked, and I started training as much as I could. And because of the family that's here, because of all of you, and Joshu, who's always been, very, very kind and considerate towards me at any given moment, but also whipping my butt in here every time I can. She'll always glare at me if I don't come in time or often. Because of that, I was driven to come every time and get myself to this level. And before I knew, I was going through the belts before even realizing it. And then I hit that wall. That's the brown belt that we all know. That belt that there are so many of, and for a good reason. Because I've seen people get up to that level and they work hard, and it hurts just to see some people with such great heart get to that point and give up. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to ever be that person. Brown belt or something else in my life. I've learned over time that being here, the speeches that he gave to all of you guys and to the kids and to the bully prevention seminars, the Women's Safe seminars, that it all starts inside. The reason why I started getting picked on wasn't because I didn't have to defend myself and everyone telekinetically felt that. No, it's because I put myself out as someone that was confident. I now no longer looked at the ground. I felt good about myself. I held my head up high, and I walked with a decent stride. When someone said something to try and pick on me, I was no longer defensive and quickly jumping at them about it. I was instead looking at them in the eye with confidence, asking them if that's really what they meant. And then I would actually respond to it appropriately. Exactly what you guys hear at the bully prevention seminars all the time. And it happened, and that's what stopped me from getting bullied. That's what started me on the path towards doing more and more in my life. I started getting that acrobatics into my life, and I started looking into it and started training, and I started learning how to back tuck, and this martial arts just started spewing into my life, where I ended up landing my first job with Coach Kat and Coach Ron, who have also been like mothers and fathers to me as well, just as much as you guys have been. And I landed not just a job, but a career that I really enjoy at the little gym. And the fact that they're now together is like godsend. I love it. I can go back and forth, be with one family and the next, and then I can have my real family here with me to share this wonderful moment. It means so much to me to have you all here. Thank you so much for coming to see this. Thank you all for training with me, putting up with all the punches and kicks that I dished out that you probably didn't deserve, and the ones that you dished out on me to get me to where I am. When I did not pass that first test, it didn't matter. I learned more from that test than I have learned in months of training. As Sensei says to you guys during the Challenge of Champions training, when you get in that ring, those first 2 minutes are the most you'll learn in any of your training. And then you just will learn so much about yourself. I would say this to everyone. Everyone deserves to get punched in the face once. It teaches you a lot about yourself. It really does. And I know you guys know what I mean, and it really does. But I've gotten to this point now, and it doesn't even feel like I've gotten to a pinnacle. It just seems like I just got into a huge stepping stone where now the world just expands even more, and it just will continue to do so. One of my favorite quotes from, I got to be cheesy like this and just call it obviously, rest in peace, but he always said that a man must always exceed his level. And nowhere do I feel like I'm more than that.
More than that. You're here.
A man must always exceed his level. And that is what Bruce Lee says, and that is what I live by, and that is what I see everyone here living by. And I will continue to do so for the rest of my life. Thank you all so much.
that he said right at the end is very important. Okay? The black belt isn't the pinnacle, isn't the finishing point of your martial arts training. Okay? For a lot of people, unfortunately, it was. People learned their black belt, and then they kind of faded away into obscurity. Okay? Which kind of leads me to believe that that person might not have deserved or truly earned their black belt. Okay? The black belt is never the finish of anything. The black belt is always the beginning. Okay? The way they kind of express it in general terms is a black belt is equivalent to like a high school diploma. You're not done learning when you get your high school diploma. That's when you really start going out into the world and learning and truly making the martial arts your own at that point. So congratulations to Murat, great job. Nice class, everybody. Oops.